Chocolate chip cookies. Today we're sampling this amplified version of a treat so iconic it earned an emoji right next to the hamburger and the pizza slice. Nothing takes you back to childhood more than a cookie and being told you're not good enough. It's good to unpack this with a professional, but it's also good to unpack a box of delicious cookies, packed by a Goldbelly professional and delivered right to your door. Everyone lies and I'm no exception, but I keep my lying for uncomfortable social gatherings where I'm unable to bridge the gap between what my wife thinks to be socially acceptable and how I truly feel. This is not such an event, so the following is all painfully unsponsored real talk. If you find this content gratifying, I urge you to express your uncontrollable burst of emotion and hit that subscribe button like it's the all-inclusive margarita bar at the Cancun Grand Fiesta Americana. MrChocolate, Jacques Torres, started his culinary journey in 1964 in a small town on the Mediterranean in southern France. Just 15 years of age, he was already hard at work at a renowned local pastry shop, and by the age of 18, he was working at a famous Michelin star restaurant, inevitably becoming an acclaimed executive pastry chef at the unprecedented early age of 26. Struggling to leave my mother's basement at 34, it seems plenty to me, but Jacques was not content. In 1988, the pastry chef came to the US, where he worked for over a decade at the famous Le Cirque, later moving on to open his first store in 2000 in Dumbo, Brooklyn. In years to come, more locations followed, and nowadays production takes place in a state-of-the-art 40,000 square foot chocolate manufacturing plant at the Brooklyn Army Terminal in Sunset Park. This pioneer of the bean to bar movement went on to win multiple awards and is also known for his appearance on the hit baking show Nailed It. In the box, you get another box, a better box, one that opens like a blooming lotus in springtime. Inside quietly rests a plastic bag containing 2 pounds and 9 ounces of the shelf-stable cookie mix, ready for you to bake at your convenience. With the chef's emphasis on wholesome ingredients, I was a bit surprised to find some longer names on the ingredient list like sodium acid pyrophosphate and monocalcium phosphate. To the best of my knowledge, these are leavening agents used in conjunction with baking soda to provide aeration of volume in baked goods. I have no claim on food engineering or chemistry, so you're welcome to research this for yourself. I just know I don't have that stuff in my spice rack. Trying to find the ingredient list online, I noticed some of the ingredients on the box are not included on the website. I also discovered that I paid more than double on Goldbelly than if I'd bought it directly from the chef's online store. Let's bake some cookies. Start by preheating an oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. In a microwave, melt a cup of unsalted butter in 30-second intervals so you don't cook the butter. Once melted, allow it to come back to room temperature. Butter plays a big role in this, so if you can, go for some nicer butter. Beat 2 eggs or skip that part completely, as I have, and work so much harder later trying to evenly incorporate it all in the mix. Combine the butter and eggs with the cookie mix and stir until it reaches a smooth, doughy consistency. Using an ice cream scoop, form 2-inch balls on baking sheet lined with parchment paper, leaving enough space between them as they flatten, unless you want to end up with one magnificent uber cookie. These being the size of a regulation frisbee, I used half of the mix to make smaller sized cookies. I was worried they would collapse under the gargantuous size of the chocolate chips, but surprisingly they held up. In conclusions, I've had worse ideas, and if you dare attempt the same, reduce the baking time by a couple minutes as the smaller mass bakes quicker. If you have an attractive neighbor you could trouble for a glass of milk, don't be shy. I don't think you'll regret it. Bake for 13 minutes or until the edges become golden brown. Finally, and evidently the hardest part of the recipe, is allowing them to cool down completely once baked. Now you have to show the discipline of a Romanian gymnast, fight off the intoxicating smell and urge to devour those with every fiber of your being. There's little you can do to mentally prepare for this 20-minute wait, which feels like eternity back to back. Nothing spells American childhood more than a chocolate chip cookie, and this one does an immaculate job recreating that distant memory. It turns up the volume on everything. First, it's more chocolate. Beautiful, warm, gooey chocolate, sweet enough to comfort your inner child, smart enough to educate your taste buds. The sorry not sorry chocolate medallion monstrosities in the mix melt into swirling pockets of creamy cocoa craze. Then it's more cookie. The 5-inch behemoth is designed to support the amount of chocolate without breaking, the butter is prominent, and together with the flour and sugar it bakes into a rich, ultra-soft center on the inside held by a thin layer of flavor-packed crispy shell. It's a meticulously photoshopped memory, flawless, so much so it makes you realize it's a memory of a time that never happened, reminiscent of a childhood you never had, that it can only be that picture perfect because it's in a picture. My childhood wasn't perfect, not nearly as this cookie. Still, I sure do miss being a kid. Jacques' famous chocolate chip cookie mix makes about 12 enormous cookies, costs $45 and another $15 in shipping on Goldbelly, or $24.50 on the MrChocolate online store. That's all, folks. Hope you enjoy this, and I'll see you on the next one.